CAF will tell you it doesn't matter. But the truth of the matter is that it matters.
It matters. So I feel if Dortmund are able to bang in the Champions League, he deserves the African player.
So we just spoke about Ademola Lookman, and I think he's one person you are strong on being a contender for African Player of the Year. Let's look around the African Player of the Year. Which players are your pick, or do you think would win the African Player of the Year?
All right, I'll start from the top. Ademola Lookman, for me, is my top. He was behind before the Europa League finals. Okay. But now if you look at the power rankings, he's now number 1. Just because he did not just win the Europa League. He scored in the Europa League, not 1, not 2, but 3 goals. And if you check the year under review, the AFCON also plays a very key role, a significant role, and he did very well for Nigeria. Nigeria were second. Now, Victor Boniface would be second or third because Boniface missed the AFCON through injury, but the history he has made with Leverkusen is also massive. Injury put him away for some time. He came back, he wasn't getting the playing time. That one would also take away some marks from him. Now, the next in line, I am torn between Kudus and Aubameyang. As for Salah, I don't want to bring Salah in because he's been there and he won a trophy this season, but I really don't want Salah to come.
He actually hasn't had a very fantastic season this
close to who the nominees. Yes. So Aubameyang, Marseille, he has done so well. If you check his numbers in the Ligue 1, in all the cups they played in, he has garnered about 30 goals this season for an African player, and nobody is seeing it.
And because of the league.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was scoring also in Europe as well. Yeah. And so if we are judging based on these performances, I think Aubameyang deserves a place in the top 5. Now Kudus also comes in. It's been a very long time we had an African player who plays in a top flight league that gives that excitement. Kudus will always marvel you. And one time his juvenile coach was saying that he's not surprised as to how Kudus is playing now, because when he was at the academy house, whenever there's a game, you will tell Kudus, this ball is one time. Kudus will get the ball and he would want to dribble every player, including his own players. And it's not that he was making mistakes. His dribbles were purposeful. So at a point in time, the coach would say he doesn't even know what to say, because one time, but he has dribbled and he has gotten the result.
And that is the point, because if I dribble and I make a mistake, that's where you can. That's where. But if I dribble and I deliver, what are you going to say?
Exactly. And so that is where Kudus comes in. It's unfortunate that he's at West Ham and West Ham didn't win anything this season. If not, I mean, Kudus, as a Ghanaian, I would have rated him higher. But if you ask me for my top 4, top 5, I'll put Lookman, I'll put Boniface, I'll put Kudus, then I'll put Aubameyang. But there's this Nigerian in Rangers. What's his name? I've forgotten his name. Desea or something. He has this name. Look, he's also doing very well. But it looks as if because it's the Scottish
the Premier League.
But this will be Salah comes in as number 5.
Okay, all right. I'll come back to you on some of the criteria that is used to select some of these players for the African Player of the Year. But let me come to you. African Player of the Year. What's your take? Ademola Lookman.
For me, picking my first 5. I will also pick Ademola Lookman at first
number
because
1. Okay.
He's had an incredible season, and then what he did at the Europa League final, it's something that is being booked in record.
Yeah.
An African player to score a hat-trick in a European competition final, actually, is massive. So for this, then it has moved his profile very, very high. So for this final, I'll give him that opportunity to be my top spot. And for the second spot, I'll give it to Victor Boniface. even though he didn't take part in African Cup, but then the season along with Bayer Leverkusen, he did massively well because he's an important player for Bayer Leverkusen and he's been out because of injury.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it was just injury issues that forced him out of the but from the beginning up to African Cup stage, he was very important to Bayer Leverkusen. And then there is this player everyone doesn't look at. Shehu Guirassy in Stuttgart.
Okay.
That guy also did massively well during the season.
They were second.
Yes. He has numbers. He scored more than 25 goals. League. He has massive numbers, but nobody's looking at him at the moment. And if you look at those sports journalists, those guys hyping the players, I think they are not really digging deep inside. Because if you look at that guy, he's really good. An important player for Stuttgart. And if you look at their position, you know that, no, this guy has really done well. Right. So for me, I'll bring him third. And then I will bring Aubameyang with what he did during the season at Marseille for League and then the Europa League distance. You see that, no, Aubameyang also had an incredible season. And then I will bring Kudus at number 5. Because Kudus, even though he has improved coming to West Ham, and the season has been good for him as well. But looking at things, the numbers, you see, those awards, if you are a midfielder or a defender, it's really hard for you. Looking at the numbers those attackers has pulled out and the teams, the positions their numbers has been able to help them finish. You see that bringing Kudus in this thing, it will be very difficult. Even though Kudus has had a massive season, but then bringing him like in competition with those attackers, it will be very difficult for him.
No, but I think Kudus has also, in his what do you call it, side of the field, has also, gotten a lot of numbers.
He has gotten the numbers
in the most in Premier League.
He has gotten the numbers, but then, as I said, those 3 guys I picked, the first 3 guys. You see, it's only Victor Osimhen who didn't come to African Cup, but then Kudus came, and then African Cup. Even though African Cup, individually he delivered, but the country aspect, they didn't move.
Victor Osimhen didn't come.
No, he means Boniface.
Victor Boniface. He didn't come to African Cup, but the numbers he has had during the league season can't count him out of the top 3.
That's fine. Zapata.
Yeah, I feel we are not talking about some 2 key players here, which is Brahim Diaz for Real Madrid. He's really having a fantastic season. He's a Moroccan, and I feel he needs to be talked about in this debate because he's doing well. Currently, they've won almost 2 trophies, and they are going for the Champions League. So I will pick Brahim Diaz as my number 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Brahim Diaz, Real Madrid, Brahim Diaz. Then second, Dortmund striker Haaland. He won the African Cup for Cote d'Ivoire. The striker. So I feel if Dortmund are able to bang in the Champions League, he deserves the African player. Yeah, then third I will go for Lookman. That's what I feel. Third I'll go for Lookman. Then fourth maybe Mohamed Kudus. That's I have only 4 players in my mind. But actually the African best player, the one who wins the Champions League, which is either Haaland or Brahim Diaz, deserves the African player of the year. That's
all right. So you see that takes me to the criteria that we think. I don't know whether we know for a fact what the criteria is, but what do you think is the criteria for selecting some of these players? Does it matter your performance? In or does the league you play in really matter? Because as he's saying, there are a lot of players elsewhere that is not really getting a lot of spotlight, but they are doing very well. Does it really matter the league you play in?
CAF will tell you it doesn't matter. But the truth of the matter is that it matters.
It matters a lot.
Because of the coefficient that is being used. So the league you play in matters. Not directly, but it influences your style of play and even your contribution. But what they really look out for is your personal performance, how you have contributed to the team's success, then the trophies won. in the year under review also counts a lot. And then also the number of games you were able to play within the season. And you know, these are human beings. Emotions also comes to play. And it is very important. Some of these things they don't tell you. Just as you have asked us. You see where he went to. I mean, when I listened to him, I was looking at Sabastian Haller winning the AFCON, and if he wins the UEFA Champions League, now it's like his campaign is working for me. So imagine if I was voting. I may quickly change my mind because now I ask myself, okay, hat-trick in the Europa League, what is it? This guy has won the African Cup of Nations. He came face to face with you in the finals and he beat you. Sabastian Haller also scored.
In the finals.
He scored in the finals. So I mean, all these things come to play. So these are some of the things that informs our decision to vote. So all in all, some are official on paper, others too are unofficial. But they all come to play to make sure you win these trophies. That's why you can see Messi. Messi can do something that any other player does the same thing, and the following day, the player's name is everywhere in the bad books of journalists. But Messi will do it, and you even get journalists making excuses for him. So all these things come to play. That is why, at a point in time, people were saying that Barcelona are being favored by referees and all that. If you check the regulations in Barcelona, they will tell the players, they will tell the coaches and every staff, even if you feel cheated by the referee, when you go to the press conference, mention it, but in the end, add the statement that after all, these are humans and these errors we understand. If you go back to check Barcelona, their managers, their players' interviews, when they are criticized, it's only Xavi who came in and for him, he's going all out. So when you do that, you win some level of favor from these people that are human beings. And we are humans. So these things come to play for the African Player of the Year and even the FIFA Player of the Year
as well. Okay.